It was all about endurance, teamwork, and school pride as students took to the course at the Combermere School for this year's BSSAC Cross Country Relay Championships. And we start with the first form boys. This is actually the final handover of the 6 athletes. And you could say home turf advantage was working here. Yale Renwick Williams on anchor for the Combermerians. And you could say it was almost a done deal. Here he comes all alone, sealing the deal for his teammates Kyra Watson, Larry Messiah, Caden Wilkinson, Jace McLean, and Amir Watts. He walks over the line to claim the win. 16 schools off the lane in the under-15 girls race, and immediately Zajara Lane positioned the girls from Christchurch Foundation to the front of the pack. A bit of jumbling saw the athlete from Dighton Griffith take a fall, but it was a good recovery and she was up and off again. And that lead extended to a major gap as Lane really set her team in prime position, handing off to Haley Nurse. At this point, St. George were in second and Combermere in third, with St. Michael's School tracking them. The foundation was in a race all their own, and by this time it was now Sorel and Misson, your third runner, and that lead got wider and wider. Ershan Ned was on the fourth flag, and with that cool, calm confidence, the girls from Churchill were in a worry-free zone. What we did miss was that Layla McIntyre ran a masterful third leg for Harrison College that moved them from 7th to 2nd, while the girls from St. Michael's School were comfortable in that third spot. Actually, the lead changed twice. First Harrison College and then Foundation, and here we go to the final. Still anyone's for the taking. Foundation, SMS, College. We will see how it goes and how it will shape up as they head out to the outer part of the course. And as the girls returned and were in the final meters, the battle was on. Foundation, SMS, surged ahead, Foundation on her shoulder, and the star girl for Foundation was Zendaya Burke, and she had the final say. The SMS athlete actually stopped short, thinking she had crossed the line, and watched for the heartbreak. No amount of egging on moved her, and here comes the athlete from College to nip her on the line for a second. What a topsy-turvy of a race. Full field for the under-15 boys. Again, the Churchill clan took early command. That's Leandre Goodin. Second Hanover and Deshae Archer that continued in that same vein. He maintained that lead and the win will be theirs. In between there was Caleb Hines, Nikhil Freeman, and on anchor here, lapping the Alexandra athlete Dominic Duncan. And like the girls, the under-15 boys side who will be on the bus headed back to Foundation School. Harrison College were in second and SMS in third. Senior girls now and some of the island's best distance runners were on this first leg for their various schools. 12 schools going in this race, Combermere surging to the front. While Alexandra had their queen bee in that opening leg, Ashlyn Simmons, and no surprise right behind her, Princess Margaret's Lachey Wilkinson, or Carif the athletes. But remember, it's 6 athletes to compete this relay, and best believe this lineup would change. And it happened on this fourth leg. Alexandra still had a slight lead, but Combermere's Chanicia Bryan was about to blow things up, and within a few meters she had reeled the Alexandra athlete in and establishing the lead. She had passed off to Zaria Gittins, and then it was Naima Taylor who had just to sign off in the win. Combermere are the senior girls cross-country relay champions. The other 3 athletes were Taryn Sunderland, Savannah Thorne, and Crystal Bentham. The curtain came down with the action-packed senior boys race that saw St. George Secondary leading the charge at the completion of the first leg, right behind Alexandra and St. Leonard's boys. Second leg, Alexandra snatched the lead, and it looked enough daylight between them and St. George to sit comfortably. But we know a lot can change over this distance, and I want you to take note of College, who's now in third with Ada Moore on this leg. And why I said to take note is because he had done enough to pass Terrell Johnson-Rouse, putting College now in the driver's seat. St. George dropped to second, with St. Leonard's boys still there. And while Moore did great to hand over first, Jamario Mallet of St. George took off with intent. So much intent that he held the lead. But College then had Zachary Wall, and he was pitted against Jamal Joseph. Now we felt the tussle brewing. And that paved the way for this battle on the final leg. Shamari Greenwich-Lewis and Duncan of Harrison College, who will be your winners. Greenwich-Lewis made his move and he never looked back. St. George are senior boys champions. His other teammates were Caden Clark and Shavari Greenwich-Lewis. 6 races, 3 divisions, and loads of talent at the BSAC cross-country relays. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.